The real story of becoming rich on a low salary. At 12:07 at night, 𝐼 checked his bank balance, and seeing the remaining amount on the screen, his face fell. It had been only 17 days since his salary arrived, but the account was empty, as if the month had chased him down and snatched his money. The room was quiet, but there was noise in his mind. Rent, EMI, household expenses, mobile recharge, younger sister's fees, and occasionally those small expenses whose record is never remembered. The question was only one: is becoming rich on such a low salary really possible? The fear was not just of poverty. The real fear was that if the next 5 years also passed like this, then when would life change? Is the money less, or is the way of managing money wrong? Right here the story turns, because that night 𝐼 did not get any lottery, any trading tip, or any rich relative. He got only an old notebook, in which he started writing the truth about his money for the first time. This story is not just 𝐼's. This is of every person whose salary comes as a hope on the first date of the month, and by the last date becomes embarrassingly silent. The most shocking thing is that the beginning of becoming rich does not always start with higher earnings. Many times the beginning starts from that moment when a person admits for the first time that money is not just earned, it is also managed. Becoming rich on a low salary does not mean that you will become a millionaire next month. It means that you will step away from that path where the hard work is yours, but the benefit keeps going to some other system. The real game is more of direction than of income. If money flows away without a plan as soon as it arrives, then even when the salary gets bigger, the situation does not change much. Only the names of expenses become expensive. In the RBI's financial education material, budgeting has been described as the balance of income and expenses so that expenses remain below earnings and the surplus can be applied to future needs. This very small word, budget, becomes the first door to wealth for many people. The difference is very simple. A poor mindset asks, what will remain at the end of the month? A wealth mindset asks, how much am I sending to my future at the beginning of the month? But here is a trap in which most people get stuck. They spend first, then try to save. And the truth is that savings are not built by trying, but by a system. Therefore, the first rule is, pay yourself first as soon as the salary arrives. Whether it is 20%, 10%, or in the beginning just 5%, but that money should be separated first, not later. If hearing 20% feels scary, then this very fear tells that the beginning should be made with 5%. The first step in the journey of becoming rich should not be big but repeatable. Setting an automatic transfer to a separate account, RD, SIP, PPF, or any safe place as soon as the salary arrives is a psychological trick. When the money moves away from the eyes, the temptation of useless expense also starts getting weaker. However, as soon as 𝐼 started saving, life threw a second question. A medical bill arrived and all his savings went away in a single stroke. He felt, is there no benefit to saving at all? Right here comes the entry of the emergency fund. This money is not meant to make you rich, this money is meant to save you from becoming poor. The difference seems small, but the impact is very big. In the beginning, hearing of a 3 to 6 month fund might feel heavy. But if every month just a little money is kept aside, then gradually a financial cushion is built, which closes the door to debt in a crisis. An emergency fund is that shield, without which even investment feels scary. Because when an unexpected expense comes, people break their investments or take a high-interest loan, and the story of wealth stops right there. Now comes the second dangerous turn, the EMI lifestyle. A new phone, bike, branded shoes, subscription food delivery, and the thinking of just a small monthly payment slowly mortgages the salary on the very first day. The real question about an EMI is not how much the monthly payment is. The real question is how much portion of your future income has already been written in someone else's name. A credit card's revolving balance, personal loan, and unnecessary EMI are not speed breakers on the path of wealth building. Many times they become a complete roadblock, especially when interest is running faster than your salary. The third defense is insurance and protection. People with low salary often think that insurance is a thing for the rich, but the truth is that a major health expense shakes a family with low savings the fastest. Now the story turns from saving towards investing, because just keeping money in a bank account might feel safe, but inflation slowly reduces its buying power. Investing does not mean gambling. Investing means putting your money into such assets where over time it works for you. But here patience is needed, not excitement. Compounding seems boring at first glance, because in the beginning the result looks small. But this very compounding makes such a curve after a few years where money does not just add up, it starts looking like it is growing. An SIP can be one way of this discipline. Putting a small amount every month into market-linked funds is no magic, but it turns saving into a habit and investing into automatic. But one thing should remain clear. Mutual funds come with market risk, returns are not guaranteed. Therefore, understanding the scheme, deciding the time horizon, and knowing risk capacity is necessary. For some people, options like PPF can give long-term discipline. According to the National Savings Institute, the minimum yearly deposit in PPF is 500 rupees and maximum is 150,000 rupees, and the account matures after 15 financial years. NPS is also an option for retirement planning, which PFRDA describes as a voluntary long-term retirement savings scheme. Meaning wealth is not connected just with today's saving, but also with future dignity. Sensible investing does not mean that all money is put in one place. A balance of emergency fund, safe products, retirement products and market-linked investments is built according to a person's age, responsibility and risk appetite. But the story is not complete just with investment. If the salary is very low, then there is a limit to cutting expenses too. After that, real growth comes from increasing income. 𝐼's turning point came when he understood that his biggest asset was not his phone but his skill. The salary remains the same when the skill remains the same. He looked closely at his work. Which people in the office are earning more? Which skill is in demand? Excel, sales, video editing, digital marketing, coding, English communication or any local business skill? He chose one skill, then started giving it just 40 minutes every day. In the beginning nothing changed, but after 3 months he had that confidence which previously was visible only in others. A side hustle does not always mean a big business. Extra income can start even from weekend tuition, freelancing, editing, design, content writing, local service or small online work. But the biggest trap of side income is that people take it as reward money. If as soon as extra income arrives, it becomes a new expense, then hard work increases, not wealth. Therefore, 𝐼 made a rule. Main salary will run the home, side income will buy the future. This simple line became a financial turning point for him. Now comes the most subtle enemy, showing off. Many times a poor man feels poor not from needs but from comparison. Looking at others' lifestyle, one's own hard work starts feeling small. On social media, people do not show their entire life, they show only the highlight reel. But the viewer compares their real life with their edited life, and then takes a wrong financial decision. Wealth is often invisible. The money that got invested, the debt that was not taken, what was kept in the emergency fund, does not shine on Instagram, but that very thing comes in most useful in life. Digital payments have made spending easy. In UPI cards and one-click orders, money is not felt leaving the hand. Therefore, small transactions together become a big leak. To stop this leak, the 24-hour rule can work. Put the thing that is not necessary into the cart, but do not buy immediately. Even the next day if it feels necessary, only then take a decision. An expense diary feels boring, but this very thing is the CCTV of money. Write every expense for 1 month, then see whether your money is going towards your dreams or habits. When 𝐼 wrote down expenses, he found out that he was losing not to poverty but to careless spending. He felt the salary was small, but in reality the direction of his money was blurry. Now it was time to increase income. Before asking the boss for a raise, he did not just complain but made a list of his work. He showed what value he had created for the company. Salary negotiation is also a skill. If you cannot measure your value, the person opposite can also undervalue your value. Therefore, proof of work, result, and confidence is necessary. Many times growth is not found in the current job. Then job switch, better industry, or going to a higher skill role becomes necessary. Loyalty is a good thing, but financial stagnation is not. An important insight is that on salary increase, do not increase expenses immediately. If income increases by 20% and lifestyle increases by only 5%, then the remaining gap can become wealth. Family responsibility is also real. Family expectations come early on a person with a low salary. But there is a difference between helping and drowning yourself. The money sent home should also be part of the budget. When the family clearly knows how much is possible every month, then both guilt and pressure decrease. Goal-based saving makes this journey emotional. One fund for emergency, one for learning a skill, one for a house advance, one for retirement. When money gets a name, it starts getting saved. Now comes another hidden tool, net worth tracking. People look at salary but do not look at net worth. Salary is income, net worth is the real scorecard of your financial progress. Every month just write this much, what you have and how much debt is on you. The difference is your net worth. The first time this number might look small, but this very number will tell the story. Understanding the difference between assets and liabilities is necessary. An asset is that which gives value or creates income in the future. A liability is that which keeps taking money out of your pocket. The first asset can be small. A skill course, emergency fund, PPF, EPF, SEF, useful tools or investment in health. What is necessary is that money strengthens not just today, but tomorrow as well. Financial education is the backbone of this entire journey. Spend 1 hour every week understanding money. Understanding taxes, insurance, investing, fraud and career growth is also like increasing earnings. Avoiding fraud is also wealth building. Official investor education sources like link2investor.gov point out high return with little or no risk, pressure to act now, and FOMO as red flags. The hunger to get rich quickly leads many people to wrong trading, fake apps and risky paths like F&O without understanding. The slowest looking path to becoming rich is often the most sustainable. Patience does not mean sitting idle. Patience means repeating the right work, not letting oneself get distracted until results come, and strengthening small systems every month. Markets will fall, expenses will come, motivation will break, and people around will also make fun. But wealth building is won by the person who does not leave the plan even in boring months. After 1 year, 𝐼𝐸 had not become a millionaire. But his emergency fund was built, debt had reduced, and for the first time before the salary arrived, he did not panic. After 3 years, his income increased, money started coming from side skill, and investments slowly started becoming a meaningful number. The biggest change was not in the account balance, but in his eyes. He was no longer afraid of money. He had learned to talk to money. He had understood that a low salary can be a starting point, not a life sentence. The biggest turning point is this very thing. The beginning of becoming rich does not happen when more money comes. Rather, it happens when a person changes their behavior with money. Now, the question is not how low your salary is. The question is that as soon as the salary arrives, who takes its first decision, your habits, your fear, or your future? Tonight, if you do just one work, then start writing your expenses and assign the first portion of salary in the name of the future. Perhaps this very small step after a few years might become the biggest scene of your entire financial story.
If this video has taught you something new, or if you feel this information should reach more people, don't forget to like and share the video. Your small share can become valuable and useful information for someone else. If you have any questions related to this topic, or if you would like to share your opinion with us, be sure to write in the comment box. We read every question and suggestion from you, because your feedback inspires us to create better content. And if you want to keep receiving such interesting and reliable information about business, the economy, and the world in the future, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel GRT Business and also press the bell icon so that you get notifications of every new video directly. At GRT Business, we always strive to provide you with accurate, balanced, and reliable information. Our news and analysis are prepared based on information obtained from various news agencies, public sources, and public opinion. We make every effort to verify and validate each fact as much as possible, but in case of any possible error or dispute, the responsibility lies with the respective sources. Our only aim is to present you with a correct and trustworthy perspective so that you can understand any topic better.